All right, I think I'm getting live here. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So it's been an interesting couple of days here. I'm going to kind of wait until a few people will get into the chat room, but basically I'm going to talk about the fact that I got into Facebook jail again, and so this time for 7 days, and I can't IM anybody. People are IMing me because I made a new profile. They're asking me, is that you? Yes, it's me. I can't write back. So there were a few people I texted to let them know, yes, it is me, but without your phone number, I can't do that. But I have a few friends on there now, so if somebody looks on it, they'll know it's me. Plus, the link is in the description box below, so you can see the new profile there. And I just kind of want to talk about, hopefully you guys can hear me all right. I was messing with the audio. Maybe it'll be a little louder than it was last time. I'm not sure. We'll see. But most people might freak out not being able to use their Facebook. There's different reasons for me personally. I actually have business on there, but I've already been able to do my business stuff on other profiles in the past. So anyway, I have things sort of fixed for now with the new profile. And I know that I mentioned this in the past video, but I actually took videos off of my YouTube channel because of censorship also. There are certain topics that they don't want on Facebook or YouTube, and I've been thinking about what am I going to do besides that. So, I've got a few ideas. And the reason it didn't really upset me, now there's a few more people in the chat room, is basically yesterday I woke up and I had a dream. Actually, I had a dream and I woke up and I did stuff with the dog, like she wanted to go out. And I went back to bed and I fell asleep again, and that's when I had this dream. So it's not often that you can go back to sleep and have another dream. And I must have gotten into the dream state pretty quickly, however that works, spiritually speaking. And I had this dream where I was in the bed, like I actually remembered that I laid down in the dream. So I was in the bed and I looked at my computer and I saw that somebody was hacking it. They were using a remote access Trojan, a rat, and they were doing things on my computer as if it was me doing it. And I wanted to get up, but I was very tired and I just didn't want to bother with it. So I finally got up and I dealt with it in the morning, where I was like telling people, and that really didn't work out very well. And soon there was this person at the door, and I went to the door and it was the cops, well, a cop. And he was basically alluding to the fact that whatever I realized, whatever supposedly this hacker had done with my computer, somehow I was wanted now. They had a search warrant for whatever I'd done last night that I didn't know about. I mean, I looked at my bank accounts and it was empty too. So, it wasn't, it was against me, obviously. And so at the end of it, I was just like, okay, so the police officer wants to take me away for something I didn't do. And I realized, and I was kind of waking up at this point, but I guess it really doesn't matter, but I realized that I trusted either the laws of the universe or God or the judicial system or whatever. I trusted that everything would be okay since I was innocent. I know that there's plenty of people out there who would say that they were innocent and they went to jail for things and they might have been convicted of that. So let's not say the judicial system, but I believe in the laws of the universe and our creator and that everything would work out okay. And so I went. And I realized, because like I said, I was kind of waking up at this whole time period, but I realized that it's really freedom to be able to go with the flow of whatever's happening, even if you think that it's, injustice, and just go with the flow and everything will work out in the end. So somebody else is having a problem with the microphone. I'm not really sure. I'm going to try something else, but what I did do, see, I had a computer problem last time, so let's see here. I'm going to try something and testing. Is it helping at all? I can't know myself. Um, so I tried something, and if it's working, then it'll work. If it isn't, then it isn't. And what else can I do? Let's see here. Can you hear me any louder now? Is it working okay? Any louder? Um, let's see here. So that was one thing. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. Doesn't really seem like it's doing much different on the bar that I'm seeing here. Sounds good to you. Well, I'm going to go back to what I did that might sound good to you, and hopefully this will continue to work because I was playing around with it. So anyway, where was I? So I had my dream, and I went with the cops because I realized that it was freedom to go to jail, and that might sound completely weird to some people, and maybe I can get the article I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings into the description box later if I remember, but it's on my website, lothealing.com. And basically, going with the flow and just doing with whatever is coming to you is actually freedom. And it might seem like it's not. So trying to figure out the best way to explain this. But if you were, if this was a real thing, so this was just a dream of mine, but I had the dream that I was going to jail the day before I went to Facebook jail. Somehow I had a premonition, I guess, or prophecy, or whatever you want to say. Somehow I knew that was coming vibrationally. But regardless, if this was actually a real thing and you were innocent and the police officer came and was going to take you to jail, and he's going to take you to jail no matter what, you're really probably not going to convince him otherwise. They tell you to keep your mouth shut. You're not going to say something that's going to convince him otherwise. He's just going to take you to jail. They have a warrant. That's what's going to happen. You can either go willingly or you can go complaining all the way. So you have the choice. And there is freedom in choosing to go willingly and being optimistic. And there is slavery in choosing to be annoyed, pessimistic, complaining, and just hating. Being, like I said, pessimistic, totally upset, wrathful, what people would call righteous anger. I don't know if that's a thing. I mean, I guess there is in some cases maybe, but in this case, it's really slavery to be angry, and even if you were wrongfully brought in. I do believe everything happens for a reason, and the Creator has his hands in whatever's happening, and it's our belief that it's bad that makes us feel bad, really. And if you can try to say, let me see this through your eyes, God, no matter what happens, then you can move forward in a more positive belief system. Being more optimistic is what leads to good things happening. And so that's where I'm at. I had this thing happen to me, and I could have been very upset. But when you're upset, you can't think clearly. The right idea, the good ideas don't flow to you. So there's freedom in just going along with what's happening. I mean, what choice did you have anyway? I'm not going to be able to stop Facebook from putting me in Facebook jail. So, and it was a 3-year-old post. And I thought to myself, what am I going to do? Go through every single post I've ever made on Facebook and try to delete the ones that I think that they might not like. So, yeah, Green the Grass said, if you're too busy crushing ants, you can't walk. Yeah, Um, so I'm just going to go with the flow and see where that takes me. And so it's very clear that Facebook and YouTube do not want certain topics on their channel. I've been unable to put ads on my channel, and I only attempted to get the ads. I only attempted that last year, but it's been a year and they have not allowed me to do that. And I believe it's because of certain topics I covered on my channel. And yeah, I know that if I believe that, maybe that's what makes it so, but I did not think that for the past year. And it was only recently that I started to think, well, maybe that's why, you know, like 9 or 10 months after the fact, I start to question, why is it taking so long? When other people got approved within a couple of months. So um, that's okay. It doesn't matter. There's going to be other ways for me to make money. It doesn't have to come from YouTube. So anyway, there are certain things that YouTube and Facebook don't want us talking about. So I've deleted those videos from YouTube, hopefully enough of them. And Facebook, there's plenty of people on Facebook who are not idiots. But if you really want to be given truth uncensored, then you're not going to be looking to Facebook for it. It's very clear that Facebook is stripping out what was there. And yes, what I posted was probably true that I got, taken out for. They don't want the truth out there for their own personal reasons or business reasons. And it's probably more business than personal, honestly. It's probably all about the money, and that's okay. Facebook has the right. I've done a video on this before. Facebook has the right to tell us what we can and cannot post on their platform. They're a business. They have that right. And if some other business comes and they say, we're not going to allow, mainstream news to post on here because what they're posting is lies, then I want the same to be happening for that personal business. So if I want that for one business, I don't want to stop Facebook from being able to take people out of their own business. I'm going to play by their rules. It's okay. But if you want truth from me, it's not going to come from Facebook and YouTube. 100% truth cannot come from me on Facebook and YouTube because there's certain things I could talk about that they don't want on there, and they will delete it or take off my channel or something like that. So if you want 100% truth and my thoughts on things, it's not going to be from those platforms. So what am I going to do? So I moved some of my videos that are not on YouTube anymore over to the truthstream.tv. Some of my older videos I just got rid of. As far as Facebook, I'm switching accounts. In a week, I'm going to make sure that I am now going to be the owner of my my pages, my Leaves of the Tree healing page, and other pages that I have and groups that I have. And I'm going to switch, and I'm not going to talk about the topics. I'm not going to post about the topics that I was posting about before. Facebook is mostly going to just be law of attraction probably, and Leaves of the Tree healing, more Christian Bible study stuff, and not about the things that I can't talk about here. And so that's not where you're going to get 100% truth from me. Is there a platform where I could post, like Facebook, 100% truth stuff? Probably on Minds or something. I do have a Minds account, but do I see myself using it? I don't really see myself using it. That's what's the problem here. So many people, they try to make their own platforms, And people don't switch from Facebook because they have too many people on Facebook and stuff going on Facebook that they're not switching over. There's some groups on TrueStream.tv, but I don't really think people are using it right now. TrueStream.tv has a little issue of buffering, and that's the problem with these smaller people. How can they compete with the large ones, right? I found LBRY, LBRY, and I have connected my YouTube channel to that. So I'm switching that over here so you can see this. There's a sync on LBRY. LBRY is somewhat connected to cryptocurrencies because they have tokens that are like cryptocurrencies that you can exchange for cryptocurrencies, you know, like Bitcoin. So it's there, you can sync your YouTube videos with LBRY, which I've done. You can click claim your channel now if you're interested. If you have a channel, I'll just post it in the chat. And so you can enter your channel name and connect it, and again, it says @LotHealing. They know that's me because I've done this. And then you can get credits for your channel. I had over 10,000 YouTube subscribers, so I got 5,000 LBC for connecting my channel. And they're saying that's worth about $170. I haven't looked up the actual USD version of that. With cryptocurrencies, I tend to collect them and just not do anything with them, and maybe they'll make money in the future, you know. So I synced my stuff, and then it says here you can see your channel sync status here, and I'm synced now. And see, it checks how many subscribers you have, and then you can download the app. Now, I downloaded the Windows version, and I found that I pretty much had to download the videos onto my computer before I could watch them, which is kind of like a buffering issue again. However, I did check LBRY app on, there's Android, iOS too. I think that it should be in the stores there. So I checked it on my phone, and the videos seem to work pretty well, really well on the phone. So if you do that, my username is @LotHealing, just for the, you know, leaves of the tree healing, basically. And so you can check that out. I'll show you what it is like in the browser on my computer if I can. I'm going to try to switch this up and just minimize that. Hopefully you guys can see this. So I also made a Law of Attraction channel @Law of Attraction for some of my Law of Attraction videos. And one thing I tried to do was upload new ones, and right now when you sync your LBRY channel, you can't really upload new ones. So let me see here, discover, and I'm going to do Lot Healing. So if I try to upload new videos, it might go to a second channel. It says here there's an empty channel instead of this one. Actually, there's 2 empty channels now. But the one with 455 publishes is the one that you're looking for if you want to find me right now. So if YouTube stuff goes down, I will have my videos already backed up. They're already on LBRY, which is good. So no matter what happens on YouTube, my stuff is going to be up there. And it's connected to the blockchain, which should mean that there's no way to get rid of it if I'm understanding it correctly for what LBRY does. So that's LBRY. I gave the link. Okay. So even if you don't have a YouTube channel, you can go to that link and just download, like at the bottom, you can download LBRY. And that's one thing that you can do to find stuff. If I want to upload videos, I can upload it there. And on Facebook, I could say, you know, hey, I updated my LBRY channel or something, and then you know, just put a link to the LBRY channel and not give a link to the video, and maybe YouTube or Facebook can't do anything about that or something. So there's something to be said about that. I could, if I want to talk about a news story, maybe put up an article and just read through it or something real quick and put links in there and put that on a LBRY channel or the TrueStream.tv or something, or both, either way. So there's things I can do, but it's not going to be on Facebook, and it's not going to be on YouTube, and it's that simple. I have done a video in the past about just going along with authority. I know that's something that truthers really don't agree with very much, but I think with the law of attraction that's the thing to do, because I think that what's going on, we have the choice and the freedom to see things in a positive light versus a negative light. As I've said, I want to see things the way God sees them, and I'm getting much better at that. And Facebook and YouTube want to censor people, and the people out there are not switching from Facebook or YouTube to other platforms because they're still getting what they want. They're still getting enough information that they want. But when YouTube and Facebook crack down and the content providers like myself disappear or stop saying things, then people will have to do something. And sometimes it takes ripping off a band-aid to get somebody to do something about something, you know. It takes doing something. So we're doing something by going with the flow, and people can either get upset at Facebook and YouTube, and that's useful. It's useful. But if you are stuck in a state of rage, you're not going to get anywhere, spiritually speaking. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go back there to being upset and angry at things. I'm going to see things the way our Creator sees them. I'm going to see things in a positive light, to look for the silver lining and know that things are working out the way they're supposed to. I'm going to go with the flow. As I talked about, the surrender experiment. I'm going to do it. And I think that there's a positive coming out of it. I mentioned on the new Facebook page that I got hit with a 7-day Facebook jail time period, and I had 777 friends on my Facebook page. That's a lot of sevens, and sevens is connected to jubilees. That's being released from something that was binding you. And maybe there's some sort of spiritual release coming from me switching accounts and moving on to a new account. And stopping the posting about the things that I can't talk about here now. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to switch, and people will either follow me and follow these other content creators to the new places where they want to share their content, or the people won't, and they'll be stuck on a place that just stops talking about it. They're just going to be in a place that just doesn't talk about anything but what mainstream media is telling you is okay to talk about. Truthers have no place on YouTube or Facebook if they want to share what they're learning, because Facebook and YouTube don't want the truth out. But I'm going to go with their rules and just not talk about what they don't want us to talk about on their platforms. But I'm going to go to other platforms to be able to speak on things that I want to speak on. And like I said, people will either go or they won't. I kind of like LBRY. As I mentioned on the phone, it actually worked pretty well. And it looked basically like a YouTube app. And there's other people on there, and I'm not going to say who, but you can search their names on there, and whatever topic you're interested in, there's probably stuff on there. Well, there's my stuff on there, obviously. So that might be the place to go. Anyway, I don't know if you guys want to talk about anything else or make any comments or questions or anything, but I've also been working on making meditation music, and I've been testing it. And I was testing this idea of, it's a meditation for fire. I was doing air, earth, fire, and water. And I was doing this fire meditation, and I was trying to visualize myself, placing myself on the altar. Basically, you let go of everything that's the old you, and let that burn up on the altar. Let the sin burn up, etc. But anything that doesn't serve me, let it all burn up and become a new creature, new creature, new creation. And that's what we were supposed to do, is sort of visualize ourselves and our sin as spiritual sacrifices. And people took it literally, and that's what I'm saying. They went wrong when they took it literally. But if you can think about it spiritually, well, that's what I was doing. And a phoenix rising from the ashes, there's some quote-unquote truthers who would just say, well, Phoenix is like the Antichrist, Nimrod, reborn, etc. But the Phoenix is actually the same exact representation of Christ, who had to die, and be reborn. And the same thing goes for another story. I'm trying to remember what it was. Well, baptism, same thing, you die, you're reborn. Oh, the snake. A snake sheds its skin. Some quote-unquote truthers would call, the snake the serpent, the evil Antichrist, right? But it's actually like about shedding your skin of the old you and becoming a new creature. And you could sort of, again, go to the phoenix. The phoenix is burned up in the ashes. It's the old creature dies and you're a new creature. So it's all the same thing. Letting go of the old and becoming the new creature, the new creation. And so long as you're letting go of sin, it's going to be a better creature, and you're going to go higher than you were spiritually speaking anyway. So I was doing that. I was visualizing myself letting go of the old and becoming the new. And then this whole Facebook thing happened. So perfect timing. Somehow I was picking up on this vibration of becoming a new creature, of being jailed up and going with the flow, and realizing that you're really free even if you're in quote-unquote jail, because nobody can take away your mind. And if you can see things in a positive light rather than a negative light, you are free. No matter where you are, if you go willingly, you are free. And I know that as a child, this thought came to me, that even in jail, you could be free in your dreams. And I realize it's much more than just dreams. But it's a theme I've had in my life. And I've looked into my astrological signs a little bit more, and I'm understanding it a little bit more. And there was some connection to the phoenix there too, with the whole letting go and being reborn. I'm pretty good at doing that. I did that in 2015 with my deliverance. And when I did that, I felt hot. I visualized the lake of fire burning away the demons. And same thing goes today. So it's the same thing, even if you call it something different. It's moving forward, being purified to become a better you. And I have to let go of the past to move forward into the future. And that's what I'm going to do. But I was picking up on that spiritually speaking, because I was led to do my fire meditation. I was led to think about that. And I had my dream about being taken to jail. And the dream about being taken to jail was one day beforehand. And I also had a dream last night, which again, this is one day beforehand. And yesterday was the summer solstice. Whatever that means, there's probably a connection. Um, Actually, I think I did research that with Nimrod. I thought the summer solstice was when Nimrod was supposedly the sun god, highest in the sky and at his most lively. And, you know, they believe the sun god basically was going to die at the end in winter time. And so this is the time of the sun god, of the phoenix that was reborn. This is the time to shine. And so I think that's interesting. But last night I had another dream, and I went to bed sort of early. I was tired, and I had a dream, and when I woke up I thought to myself, you know, it's probably 3 or 4 in the morning. And I found out it was only 11:30 at night. And I thought, that's weird that I had a dream so soon after I went to bed, but that I woke up. Well, it woke me up. I had a dream, and it was very weird, and I'm not going to get into it. But towards the end of it, there was an earthquake, and I felt the shaking. It was more of a swaying. I've actually been in an earthquake before, which not like a big earthquake, but I felt the swaying. And I was looking around at the people. I'm like, is that an earthquake? And it's like nobody noticed until finally I said, I think that's an earthquake. I think that's an earthquake. And I went to turn on the TV. Shows how much I really cared about it being an earthquake. If you're actually in an earthquake, maybe the best thing is not to turn on the TV to find the news to see if there's an earthquake going on, but probably to find a safe spot. But regardless, I wanted to see if there was an earthquake happening, and it just kept getting more intense, and it was definitely an earthquake as far as the dream goes. I mean, with just how intense it got towards the end. It woke me up. It was that intense that I felt it, and I was like, I have to do something, you know, feeling like I have to do something, and just, it woke me up. And when I woke up, I thought, is there an earthquake going on? Is there a little earthquake going on? Because I just got woken up out of my dream feeling like there's an earthquake going on. And I laid there, and it didn't feel like there was. I felt a little vibration, but not enough that I would say, hey, maybe there's an earthquake. So that might have been a spiritual thing. A friend of mine said a little later, after I gave her the time period, a little later in the night, her husband had said that it felt like the bed was shaking, and she felt maybe a little vibration. So I don't know if somebody else was picking up on something either last night, but regardless, on summer solstice, I had those two very intense dreams. And as far as the earthquake goes, I'm not saying that there's going to be an earthquake. I'm saying that somehow vibrationally I'm picking up on things. Like with the Facebook jail, it's not like I was saying like, hey, I'm going to wake up and tomorrow the policeman is going to come and take me to jail. I got put in Facebook jail. There's different, you know, spiritual realities. It's how we interpret things. Intuition, I think, is just us feeling some strong vibration out there that, I mean, might influence us or impact our lives in some way. And we can interpret it differently. So I know that there was something going on a few months ago, and a friend of mine interpreted it differently, negatively. Whereas if I had seen it, I would have interpreted it positively. I actually did after the fact. So there can be something that happens, and you can see it as a negative or you can see it as a positive. When I had the dream about being taken to jail, I saw it as a positive, as in, like, I'm just going to go with the flow, and I understand that there's freedom in going with the flow. Whereas somebody else could have that same dream and be thinking about it in a negative light. I mean, I can admit it. The first time I woke up from that dream, I thought to myself, why did I dream something so negative? Somebody hacking my computer? that's a feeling of loss of control, you know. And I guess maybe that might be connected to the whole like 3 years ago is a post that I, you know, got convicted of. And I, you know, kind of feeling like out of control. Like, how am I going to control what I posted 3 years ago when I was a totally different person? And it's just, I'm not going to go through and try to delete all those things. I was a different person. And I'm just going to move forward and let go of the past and move into the future. And, you know, there might be people that follow me that would not have in the past, and maybe there will be new people. I don't know how that's all going to work out. You know, we can be influenced by the people that we follow, and if we're not following the same people, maybe we won't have such, I would say, a negative time, but maybe you won't have such a positive time if you let go of positive people also, you know. So this switch of accounts is kind of a sifting also. So anyway, I think that there's going to be positives coming out of this, especially since I was alerted to it beforehand and had an ability to see things in a positive light before things happened. So I was prepared vibrationally. If we can see things the way that our Father sees them, we can be much more prepared vibrationally, I think, to accept what He wants for us and accept what He's doing for us. And that's why the barley harvest is early, because you just throw the barley up and the wind will take away the chaff. Whereas the wheat has to have the tribulum that passes over the wheat, and the tribulum is where we get the word tribulation from. And some people have to go through tribulation. If you just let the Father, you know, purify you quickly like the wind, you'll have a much easier time in the harvesting. Whereas then there's the grape harvest, and they have to be stomped on to get changed. So to be harvested into wine. So I just aim to be purified by the wind like the barley, and do it quickly. And I'll share my thoughts and experiences as I go, and maybe that's for the better that I don't talk about those certain topics on this channel, because maybe some people don't want to hear about things. They already know what they're doing and they don't want to hear the truth stuff. I'm just not sure that I can just not post some of the stuff that I used to post. But maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just stop and focus on more positive things. So I think that there's a lot of good people out there trying to do a lot of good things, and I feel like I want to support them. And to support them, I feel like sometimes maybe I do have to do a video on that or something, but it's not going to go on YouTube. It's not going to go on Facebook. So I'm sure that there's positives going to come from it. And are there any other things that you guys want to talk about? I'm going to read Katrina's comment here. But if there's anything else you want to question or comment, you can do that. I'm not sure if I'm going to go the whole hour here. So Katrina said, yeah, truthers have to diversify everywhere online in order to reach people, or just to find truth online, sadly. It's what it's going to be. To find the truth, and you know, Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, right? To find the truth, sometimes you have to walk the path that's not walked by many. In this case, sometimes it's diversifying your information, where you get it from. LBRY, if the app works as well as it did when I looked at it the first time, LBRY could become a YouTube. I mean, if the app thing works out. On the computer, it automatically, you can set it to automatically download. And if you want like a tutorial or something for LBRY sometime, maybe I can do that. But you can set it to automatically download. And also, you get LBC for certain things on there. Let me see if I can switch the screen over again. So there's a thing here called rewards, and they can give you LBC, the library coins, or whatever it is about. See, I got 5,000 for having the YouTuber, and there's various other ways to get some, just channel surfing, checking out the different streams, subscribing to people. See, it says sub sandwich, level 2, the hoagie. Earn rewards for subscribing to channels. So I'm only subscribed to 3. But when you subscribe, you can get some LBC. You click on that once you do it. You can do, inviting, refer a friend, and get LBC for that. And clicking on the overview. I don't know what this tip is. Oh, okay. All right, somebody gave me a tip for my Game of Life and how to play it video. So that's one way you can make money on here. All right, I'm gonna go back to Discover and click Lot Healing. All right, I can't find what I was looking for. Oh, here it is, auto download. So you can click to auto download and it'll automatically download the videos. Now I know that could be a lot of videos. You might have to go through and undownload them, delete them off your thing if you want to. It's like the blockchain, so people having them on their computer can actually speed up the downloads of other people who will connect to this app. It's kind of like a wallet. I mean, it basically is a wallet, really, because you can receive and send LBC through it. So it's like a cryptocurrency wallet, really. I'm going to go back to the webcam. And that could be something good in the past. I was actually looking up cryptocurrencies before my deliverance, feeling led by the Father to do that. So I think that that could be something very positive in the future. So I will let people know if I have new channels on there. And I'll try to put some links in the description box here later after I'm done with this. There's not too many people watching today, but I'm really thankful for the people who did come out and check it out. And I'm probably going to end the stream now, and I am switching things over to my new Facebook page. The link is in the description box if you missed that at the beginning of the chat, to the new Facebook page. So you can friend me over there, and yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything else I really need to discuss here for right now, but I practice what I preach, and even if something quote unquote really bad happens to me, I just try to see it in a positive light, and I can see positives from this. Katrina said, do you need cryptocurrency to use it, or does it have its own, like mine's? It has its own. That's the LBC, and if you have LBC, then you could probably send it to one of those cryptocurrency markets and exchange it for Bitcoin. So basically, if you downloaded the app, the LBRY app, I put the link above there. If you download it, then there's certain things you can do, like watching videos and subscribing to channels, and you can get LBC from the rewards section, as I mentioned. You can go back to this video and look where I said that the rewards were, and those are the cryptocurrencies that you get, the LBC, and then the LBC can be traded. So let me go back to the Firefox and webcam here. Like I said, if you set up your YouTube channel, if you have a YouTube channel with certain people, you can get LBC for that. So I got 5,000 for that. But even if you don't, if you download it and do things, you can get the LBC. Where was I? And on here, it tells you that, where was it? Okay, 1,000 LBC is approximately equivalent to $34.45. So if you download this, let's see here, if 1,000 is about 35, let's say, that means that, move over 2 places, what, 10 would be 35 cents. 10 LBC would be about 35 cents if I'm calculating that correctly. And so you can get like at least 10 LBC from using the app. Because I'm up to 5,032, I've got 32 just from using the app and doing those rewards that they do on there. So you can get a little bit of cryptocurrency basically if you download the app and do some of the rewards. And then with that cryptocurrency, you can either keep it or you can actually tip people, as I mentioned. So if somebody has a YouTube channel, or not YouTube channel, if somebody has a LBRY channel on there, you can go there and you can tip them some LBC now that you have some. And then they can transform that into, well, they can either keep the cryptocurrency or they could transfer that into actual US dollars or Bitcoin. And Bitcoin would probably be the better thing to transfer it into, because the US dollar is probably not going to go up in worth, and Bitcoin will probably go up in worth. That's my opinion. I'm not professional marketer or anything as far as that goes, but I do believe that cryptocurrency will get more value as we go forward. Bitcoin in particular, and I was looking at Graft. I have a whole video on that, of course. Anyway, are there any other questions or comments or thoughts? If you guys are interested in the LBRY thing, maybe I can do like a tutorial of it or something. But it's something I was thinking about, and since it seemed to work in the app on the phone when I tried it, I'm more positively focused on that, than the TrueStream.tv. That might take a while for them to get the actual streaming going. And honestly, having it on a blockchain is a little more secure than having it in the US, like online. If somebody could maybe take down somebody else's website or hack it, and LBRY is probably less likely to have that sort of issue, but I'm not sure. We will just see where the future takes us. So those are my thoughts on that. And like I said, mine's, I'm on there, but it's more difficult to constantly go to multiple social media websites, and most people are on Facebook. So I think it's probably easier for me to just have a Facebook page where I say, hey, I updated my channel, and people can look or they won't, So that might just be the way that I'm going to go. So these are just my thoughts here as I first just am waking up to the fact that I have the 7-day Facebook jail time, and I really don't want to have to go through 3 years of posts on Facebook to try to take down things that somebody might get offended at in the future. I'm just not going to post that stuff on Facebook anymore. I think that's just the way it's going to go. So yeah, it's up to people to follow me wherever I go if they want to listen to what I'm going to have to say or not. And if it doesn't work out on other things like LBRY, well, I think LBRY is fine. I just got a tip on there. I'm happy about that. I didn't see that before. So, that might be the way to go. Like I said, there's other people on LBRY. You can check them out. And if they are not and they have a YouTube channel, you can send them the link where they can switch, and you can it just automatically put all my videos on my channel on there. I've uploaded new videos on my channel, and they've automatically been synced to LBRY. So it's very simple, very easy to do. You do have to sign in to your YouTube account for them to sync it, just so that they can see that you are the channel owner, so you're not like syncing somebody else's YouTube channel. Anyway, those are my thoughts for now, and I think I'll probably leave that there and just wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for listening, and like I said, my Facebook link is in the description box, so I'll put other links in the description box too. Hope you all have a great week coming up here. Thanks for watching.